I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Beyond the Fear podcast, the place where y'all come for motivation, inspiration, uplifting, and an overall positive message. I'm your host, DJ, and today's episode was inspired by um, an episode of a TV show that I was watching. And today's episode is just about how you can't help everybody or you can't save everybody, even if you have the resources, you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you have everything that you think that you would need to help somebody. If they're not ready to receive the help, or if they don't want the help, or if they don't even know that they're going through something that requires help, you know what I'm saying? There's really nothing you can do because they're not ready to receive what you can give or what you feel like they may need. And and that's just real life, you know what I'm saying? I can put myself in that situation. Like, there were times when I didn't think that there was anything wrong with me. I didn't think that I was depressed, or I didn't think that I had anxiety. Um I didn't think that there was anything wrong with, how I was acting or the way that I was moving because, I've been functioning my whole life, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never had a mental breakdown, or because I've never had a panic or an anxiety attack, or, these things, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have these things. So, it was going to be hard for anyone to tell me anything about myself because, I've been able to maneuver through life and do what I needed to do. But, sometimes, well, what I understand now is that some things can go under the radar, some things can go because especially when you don't know what it looks like, you know what I'm saying? If I don't know what a mental breakdown looks like, how do I know that I didn't have one? I think, at least for me, I thought that, a mental breakdown was going crazy, or you just, losing all sense of reality, things like that. But a mental breakdown can look different. A mental breakdown can look like you just don't want a temper tantrum. And honestly, just being honest, I've had plenty of those, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, once you start to realize that things manifest in so many different ways and they can look different, you know what I'm saying? So, once you start to just realize that what you see on TV, meaning, when I saw growing up, when I would see, or as a teenager, when I would see mental breakdowns, you know, they were labeled like suicide, or trying to harm yourself or another person. Those those are what were looked at as mental breakdowns. It wasn't like you throwing a fit in the middle of a crowd or a family reunion, or you know what I'm saying. And so now that there's been more being invested in the mental health, you've realized that mental breakdowns can look like anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be you just crying out of nowhere. You don't know why you're crying. You know what I'm saying? It could be you yelling. It could be you. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? It could look like a mental breakdown. And it's like, once I started to see that, it's like, okay, I've done some of these things before. I may have not tried to harm myself or harm others, but I have had those, um, just yelling at people, or, just, you know, just being frustrated with how things are going, and just taking it out on other people. I have done those type of things. So maybe there is that mental, maybe I am having a mental breakdown, but it just looks different than what I thought mental breakdowns looked like growing up. But but again, before I saw that, and I could acknowledge in myself, I wasn't trying to hear, hey, you might be going through something mentally. Hey, you might need therapy. Because in my mind, no, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. I'm not, a harm to myself or other people. But, it's like I say, now that the more research is being done, more stuff is coming out, it's deeper than that. And so for me, I'm glad that I'm now getting ready to start therapy and getting ready to start, this next chapter in my life and start doing the work to help me heal from my past and heal from the things that I've gone through. But I also understand that, you can't you can't save everybody. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who just don't even realize they're doing things that are affecting the people that they care about, that are affecting the people around them. You know what I'm saying? They don't see it because, all they see is, their pain and what they're going through. They don't see past themselves to see how much their actions are hurting the people around them. And, and again, I've been there. I know I've talked about that before, especially in my past relationship where I was just so focused on what I was going through and what I was dealing with that I didn't see how much it was affecting her and how much she was hurting and how much she was going through. I couldn't see her pain because I was so focused on mine, So I've been there and I know how easy it is to get caught up in your own pain that you don't see the pain that you're causing other people because of your actions and how you're reacting to your own pain. So, it's just not easy, you know what I'm saying, it's not easy for anybody. It's not easy for everybody to reach out and to say, hey, I'm hurting. Hey, I need help. Hey, can you help me? Can you put me in the right direction? So, and then even if somebody is brave enough to say those things, it's even harder to follow up and actually take that first step, make that phone call, make that appointment, go do your first session, and do the things that you need to do because you don't know how much of a hold whatever it is that they're going through or whatever it is that they're doing, how much of a hold it may have on them, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's just mental stuff that they're going through, and them just feeling like, hey, I need to go through it alone, or hey, this is something that I have to deal with, or hey, nobody will understand me, nobody will understand what I'm going through, so I need to go through it alone because no matter how many times I talk about it or how many times I say something to someone, they just don't get it. They don't get me. They don't get what I'm going through because they haven't had to go through it. They haven't had to experience. They haven't had to live what I've had to live. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that people are going through and they're just suffering in silence. Again, I should know because I was one of those people that no matter what I was going through, I didn't open up to tell anybody what I was going through or what I was feeling. So for me, I don't get mad at my friends and my family for not being there for me when I was going through what I was going through because I never said anything. I put on that brave face. I put on that smile, but on the inside, I was hurting, you know what I'm saying? But I did my best not to show it and I didn't say anything. So, if I do it well enough, they don't know anything, how can I get mad at them for not being there for me when I didn't make myself available? I didn't make my pain available. I didn't make my hurt available. I didn't do the things that I should have been doing to let them know, hey, something's up with DJ. Something ain't right. He not, you know what I'm saying? So, now I'm learning to be more vulnerable, to be more vocal, to say, hey, I just ain't got it right now. Or, hey, I'm hurting. Or, hey, I'm just dealing with some things right now. I'm just trying to get to a space where where it's easier for me to be vocal about my problems, you know what I'm saying? And to talk to people about what I'm going through because I do understand that it's easier to go through things with people than to go through it by yourself. And it's easy for me to always tell other people, hey, you don't have to go through this alone. Hey, you don't have to go through this alone. But it's so hard for me to have to remind myself, like, you ain't got to go through this alone. You do have friends and you do have family to lean on. So I'm trying to take my own advice. I'm trying to practice what I preach and open up to people, but it isn't the easiest thing to do. So when I see people, whether I know them personally or I don't, I could be walking past somebody or I could be sitting down eating lunch and see somebody kind of, going through some things. And I can understand, you got your guard up. You don't want to feel vulnerable, especially with somebody you don't know or somebody you do know. You just don't like feeling vulnerable. You don't feeling like somebody's going to play with your emotions or take advantage of you. So I do get it, but I just try to be there for people, even if it's just a conversation, because again, I understand how much just being able to say what's hurting you or being able to say what you're dealing with, even if that's all that you do. I know how much that can be a relief off of you when you can just have somebody know, hey, I'm going through this. Hey, I'm struggling with this. Hey, I'm fighting these demons. I'm fighting these battles, whether they be mental battles, real battles, whatever. I'm fighting this stuff. But you know what I'm saying? It just even if it's just for a few moments, you don't feel like you're having to do it alone. So I understand the importance of just being there for people, but I also understand that there are people that, are just stuck in their ways, and they're so, the past and everything that they've had to deal with has them so jaded, has them so guarded that, it's hard for them to tear those walls down. Again, that used to be me, like, I was just, after my first heartbreak, my guard was up, you know what I'm saying? And I made it hard for people to get in and to show me love and to show me affection. I'm struggling with affection to this very day, you know. So it's not, so I know how hard it is to let your walls down and be comfortable enough to talk with people, even some of your closest friends and family members. It's not easy, you know what I'm saying? And so you got to understand that while people, and I know how hard it is to watch somebody or people that you care about go through things, and it's so hard because you don't want to see anybody struggle, but you for sure don't want to see people that you care about, people that you're close to, people that you grew up with, people that you personally know, struggle and go through things. But the unfortunate truth about things is that you got to let them go through it, because trying to force help on them just may make it worse. It may make them go deeper down whatever spiral they're already headed down. So the best thing that you can do is just kind of be there for them, kind of waiting for them to see that, hey, I am here to support you. Like, when you fall, I'm here to catch you. I'm here to help you, back to your feet. All you got to do is let me in. All you can do is just keep, letting them know, keep reassuring them that, hey, I'm here whenever you're ready to talk, or whenever you're ready to, take whatever the next step may be for you, whatever it is, I am here. I'm here. That's all you can really do, is just keep reassuring them that you're there for them and that you'll continue to be there for them no matter what. That's really all that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to make somebody do something they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because getting the help that you need, a lot of that is doing the work. And if you're not ready to do the work, you're not going to do the work. You're not going to take things seriously. You're not going to do what you need to do to get to where you need to be, because that person may honestly not see anything wrong with what they're doing. They may not see anything wrong with their actions. They may be blind to the hurt that they're causing other people, because they're just so focused on what they have going on. So, even if you do force them into therapy, or you force them into this and you force them into that, it's like, it ain't the same as them finally seeing, wow, I caused these people that I care about this much hurt. Let me go get the help that I need. Let me go try to take this seriously. Let me go do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And them acknowledging the hurt that they caused, or the pain that they caused, them acknowledging that there is something wrong, and that they do genuinely want the help, and they want to get better, and they want to get back to, no, they just not even get back to who they were, but they just want to get to a better version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand how hard it is to acknowledge, the hurt that you've caused someone. I know how hard it is to acknowledge the pain and the suffering that you've caused, especially to people that you care about. So, and I know that in itself is hard, and that in itself can cause people to draw back once they start to see, wow, I care about this person, I care about this group of people, and I'm also one of the main causes for a lot of the hurt that they've been experiencing lately. So, but like I said, I think for me personally, where I've dropped the ball with helping people is I didn't keep reassuring them that I'm there for them and that, I going to continue being there, but learning I didn't know how to reassure them, but also realize that I need to take my hands off of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll come to me if and when they're ready. When they're ready to get help, they'll know that I'm an outlet that they can reach out to see about getting the help that they need. And I just was so focused on trying to be hands on and trying to get them the help that I was like forcing it. And I was just pushing people away from me. I was pushing people further down, whatever holes or whatever spirals they were going down. And I was making my relationship with them, even further. So now what I'm learning to do is just to take my hands off, but just also make sure that every chance that I get, I reassure them that, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm here. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here. I don't care what's going on. I'm here to listen. You know what I'm saying? No judgment, no nothing. I'm just here to listen. And so I'm learning to just take my hands off, try and stop trying to force things and just keep reassuring them, keep saying, hey, I'm here. I want to listen. I want to try to help. But until you're ready, you know, I'll leave it at that, So I'm just doing a better job with learning to take my hands off of situations because I can't control it. I can't control how they feel about themselves or how they feel about their situation or if they even seeing the big picture or seeing the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? I can't control those things. I can't force them to see the pain that they're causing other people. I can't force them to see how much they may be changing and none of us can. And so we got to learn to take our hands off of things, and just kind of let you know, God do what he do, pray about it, and just put it in God's hands, and just get back to focusing on you, back to focusing on things that you can control, back to, doing the things that you need to do to make sure that you're good. Because I also know that you can drive yourself crazy trying to help somebody else fix their issues. You can start drowning in problems that aren't even yours, drowning in stress and worry about things that you can't control. And so now it's causing even more problems for you. So, just understand that, man, the only thing that you can do is be there. That's it. That's the only thing that you really can do. You can't really force people to do. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about if that person's trying to harm someone or someone's trying to harm them, or what I'm saying, if there's that's something so different. And obviously, call who you need to call, police, whoever it is that you need to call, do that. But I'm just saying, if they're not harming anybody and things like that, but they are spiraling, the best thing that you can do is just be there for them, just continue to let them know that, but let them come to that conclusion on their own. Because you trying to get them to come to that conclusion, or them pretending to come to that conclusion to get you off their back, isn't going to really help. It's just a temporary thing. They'll do it long enough for you to kind of stop complaining or stop talking about it. And then once they feel like, you've moved on or they've done it long enough, they'll go right back to doing the thing. So that's something that they have to decide. They have to decide that they've had enough and that they're ready to make that improvement or to make that change, or to, get the help that they need, whatever it is. So the best thing for you to do is just kind of just be by their side. And I get it. Trust me, I do. That isn't always a easy place to be, because while they're going through the stuff that they're going through, you being by their side, sometimes you get hit by it. You get hit by the things that they go through because you're just sitting there trying to be by their side, and it can be frustrating, you know what I'm saying? And it can make you sometimes want to wash your hands of the situation. And like I said, that's where I had to learn that it's okay to step away from the situation, you know what I'm saying? Step away from all of that, whatever it is that they're going through, whatever it is that, whatever emotions that is bringing out of you personally, it's okay to step away and say that I gotta take care of my sanity. I got to take care of me and my emotions because, that person or that situation may be drawing some negative things out of you or making you do things that, just bringing some emotions out of you that you don't want to have. So, of course that, you got to do your work and make sure that you're good and, and that you're stable and doing what you need to be doing. But there's nothing wrong with just, taking your hands off that situation and taking a step back and allowing that process to play out. But while you are taking a step back and while you are taking your hands off of it, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with still letting that person know that, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm here for you. And I think that that's just the overall message that I'm trying to get across is that you can't save everybody. And all you can do is just genuinely be there for them, whenever they are ready, whenever they do come to that realization and they do start to see, you know, the pain that they're going, when they're ready to acknowledge their pain and when they're ready to acknowledge their hurt and when they're ready to seek help because they want to get past this or they want to grow from this and, and things like that, that's when, you can be more hands on and you can, try to help them a lot more. But until they get to that point, unfortunately, the only thing you can really do is just be there for them. You know what I'm saying? And do your best to, help them out. But at the end of the day, if they're not ready for that help, they're not ready. They're not going to receive it. They're not going to want it. They're not going to try to take advantage of it and do what they need to do if they're not ready. If they genuinely don't see anything wrong with what they're doing or anything wrong with how they're living and things like that, there's really nothing that you can do about it. You can't change them. You can't make them see things, you know what I'm saying? And even if you can, if they're not ready for it, but they do start to see it, who knows what that does, man. But the main thing is, Jen, just be there for them. I'm just learning that just being there or just like lending an ear, for a conversation is very helpful. I'm learning how helpful just being there and just being able to have a conversation without judgment and just being able to talk to them, how helpful that is. But I also know that there are people who, just who will only see what's been done to them. They won't see what they do to others. And I know for me, because that's a part of accountability, I know that that's one of the things that's a trigger for me is like people not taking accountability for their actions. You know what I'm saying? It's a trigger for me. So that's something that I know that I need to work on. And I know that's why for me, I can't be as hands-on as I would like to be with certain people because like when you don't want to take accountability, it triggers something in me. And until I get that figured out, I can't have certain conversations with people because, it just puts me in a space that I was in my past relationship where there's no accountability on the other person's side about their actions and what they do. And it's just a very frustrating place to be in. And it just triggers me. And, and it's just, I'm glad that I'm in a space where I can recognize that and I can admit that, but I still know that I'm not where I need to be because even in those moments when I get triggered, I react. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a bad thing for me. So I know that I have plenty of work to do. I have plenty of growing that I have to do. I can, I'm happy for the fact that I can acknowledge that I know why I reacted and I know what triggered me, but I got a lot of work to do to get to a point to where I don't just react when I get triggered. And I got a lot of work to do to get to a point to where I can acknowledge that trigger in the moment that it happens and I can learn to walk away or I can learn to take a beat, and just recollect and just collect myself and hopefully go back in with a calm head, so I got a lot of growing to do, but it's shown me that just people not being accountable is a trigger for me. It's something that triggers a lot of old unresolved negative emotions for me. So the best thing for me to do for a lot of my friends is just kind of, just be there from afar, be there from a distance, support them from a distance, and and love them from a distance, while they're going through the things that they're going through, because I don't want to lose myself, lose all the hard work that I've been doing on myself to get to where I am, because again, I'm not perfect and I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot further than the person that I used to be just a year ago. So for me, I don't want to lose all of this progress and lose myself because I'm fighting with someone to try to show them the harm that they're causing other people, or to show them how they're acting different, or to show them like you're not the same person that you used to be, when, I just don't want to continue going down the same old path for myself personally, where I'm losing myself and I'm losing my temper and I'm losing my cool and I'm letting my frustration control me and lead me into arguments and into situations that I know aren't good for me. And then once they're done, I'm regretting it. Like, what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch myself in real time to stop things from happening. So I'm doing my work and the things that I need to do. But like I said, I think for me, the best thing for me personally is just the best thing for me to do is just to, love and help and support from a distance with certain people, especially when it comes to those people not being accountable and not doing and not just being accountable for their actions and the things that they do, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to frustrate them and now we're fighting and now they're deeper into whatever it is that they were doing. I just made a situation worse when I was trying to make it better, but because I'm not healed in the way that I need to be, or I'm not where I need to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm just making it worse. So it is kind of hard to help people when you know you need to get help yourself, or when you know that you're in the middle of fighting your own battles and fighting your own demons and fighting, your past and things like that. But it's just kind of hard for the type of person that I am to see some, especially somebody that I care about. Anybody period, but especially people that I care about. It's hard for me to see them turning into people that I know they're not, and not say anything, or not try to be there, or not, reach out to them and call. But I'm also learning that, it's okay to reach out. It's okay to call. But if they're not ready to receive whatever message I'm trying to give, or they're not trying to receive anything that I'm saying, it's okay for me to just say, okay, but whatever you're going through, just know that I'm here for you whenever you're ready to talk, and leaving it at that. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, hey, I'm here for you. Hey, if you need to talk, hey, if you need me, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? That's enough. I don't have to go try to fix the problem right then and there. I don't have to fix that problem that day. This one conversation that I'm having with them doesn't have to fix the whole situation. Just letting them know that I'm here, just letting them know that there's somebody here who actually cares and who's actually here to listen, who actually wants to help. I may not know how to help, I may not know the answers, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying? If you need me, if you need to talk, whenever you are ready, we can figure something out. I had to realize that that's enough. You know what I'm saying? I think for me, my problem was I always felt like I needed to fix things in that moment. I needed this conversation needs to fix this. This sit down needs to fix this. We need to fix this today. You know what I'm saying? And that got me into a lot of trouble, because it's like I didn't realize that whatever they're going through didn't just happen overnight. It happened over the course of months, maybe even years. So to think that one conversation, 1 hour long, 1 30-minute long conversation is now going to change all of that, whatever they're going through, whatever hurt, whatever pain, whatever substances, whatever it is that they're going through, and however long they've been going through it, a 30-minute, an hour long conversation, a phone call, a sit down, whatever it is, isn't going to change all that hurt and all that stuff that they've been through. This is months and years worth of pain that's manifesting itself in their behavior and whatever they're going through. One conversation isn't going to change it. And I had to realize that. And it took me a long time to realize that, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to get frustrated with myself when I wasn't able to help them. But it's like you don't really realize that you may be helping, but just not in the way that you think. I had to realize that, hey, I'm here for you. That's helping. Hey, just checking up on you. That's helping. Hey, just making sure that you're good, man. And like I said, whenever you need to talk, man, I'm here. Those are all things that help. I think for me in my mind at that time, in my past, I just thought that I'm not helping if I'm not seeing that change. If they're not changing, I'm not helping. But what I had to realize is just being there and supporting them is help. It may not be helping to change anything right now, but you do it enough, you never know how when it's going to pay off. But hopefully it does. It may pay off a year from now. It may pay off a couple of months from now. But you know, if they start to believe, you start to realize, okay, DJ is here for me. DJ can help me. DJ is trying to help. Like maybe there is something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Stuff, you just never know when it'll pay off, but you keep you throwing those coins in that bucket and you never know what it's gonna add up to, but just keep letting them know, hey, I'm here for you. Hey, whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. I'm here to listen. Those things do add up, but I had to realize that I can't sit here and fix their problem off of one conversation. And it's like now that I know that, I do realize that just being able to say, hey, I'm here is enough. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't at the time, like in my past, I didn't think that it was enough. I thought that I had to fix everything in that moment. And so I was sometimes driving myself crazy trying to fix other people's problems or take on other people's stress, take on their problems to try to fix them when it wasn't really anything that I could do from the very get go. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to do the impossible from the very, beginning of it. But because I didn't see it, because I felt like, or I thought that, I can heal everybody, I can fix everybody, I can make everything better. You know what I'm saying? And that just sometimes it made things worse because, like I said, sometimes I got frustrated because it's like, how are you not seeing this? How are you not understanding? But because I didn't go through what they went through, I wasn't in their shoes. I wasn't feeling what they were feeling. I didn't deal with what they dealt with, that I didn't understand how deep that wound or how deep that situation was for them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from a very shallow perspective when there's something very deep going on. And so I had to go through a lot of hurting people in the process of trying to help them to realize that, man, you know what? Hey, I'm here for you is enough, man. So, man, just to wrap everything up, man, just understand that you can't save everybody, you can't help everybody. They have to want the help. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of sit back, let them come to you when they're ready. You know what I'm saying? And I know how hard it is to watch people that you care about go through things and, hurt themselves and hurt other people. But man, sometimes they gotta go through those things. Sometimes they gotta, sometimes you gotta let that bad thing happen to them because because when you're protecting them so much, it's like, okay, I'm doing all of this stuff, but nothing bad's happening. So they're going to continue to do it. So sometimes you got to let those bad things happen to them. And again, I'm not talking about like when it comes to like death and things like that. I'm not saying that like if obviously if you feel like they're going to be harm to themselves or harm to somebody else, get whoever you need to get involved to get them the help that they need. But if you just if they just doing stuff that they don't they don't need to be doing. And, when they're in their right mind, they know they wouldn't do what shouldn't be doing. Sometimes you got to let those bad things happen to them. And so, cause sometimes they got to sit down and, some lessons people got to learn the hard way. They got to feel those consequences before they start to really realize, okay, let me go get the help I need. Or what do I need to do to get out of this? So, understand that every lesson ain't going to be learned the easy way. Some lessons are going to be learned the hard way. And the only thing that you can really do is just be there for them and support them whenever they're ready for that. When they're ready to heal and when they're ready to do their work to get better, just be by their side and support them and just be a friend, man, or be a family member, whoever it is, whatever it is that you are to that person, just be there for them and just, kind of help them where you can, when you can, when they're ready for it. But I just want to thank everybody for whatever platforms you're listening on. Thank y'all for listening. Y'all already know I love and appreciate y'all, and everybody on YouTube. Same thing. I want to thank y'all for taking the time to watch. Y'all already know. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast. I want to continue growing and continue making this thing bigger and bigger. But man, I love y'all, and y'all have a blessed day.